How's this for a feature? We have tons of lessons, and each lesson has tons of vocabulary, but you might want to create your own list of vocabulary. Well, actually you can do that. Instead of pressing the How to Study Korean Lessons at the top, you can press the My List button. Now here you can see that you can either import your own list, you can create your own list from scratch, but in this newest update we added a really cool feature, an easy way to add vocabulary words to your own list. For example, you can scroll through Lesson 5, go to the vocabulary in Lesson 5, and by pressing the button next to the light bulb, you can add any of these words to your own list. For example, I might want to add 할아버지 to my own list, so I can press this button here, and I can add it to a blank list because I don't already have one created. If I did have one created, I could add it to the one that I've already created, so I'll add it to this new blank one, and I can go through and add any other word that I might want. I'll add 할머니 to the list I just created, and I'll add 사진 to the list I just created, and you can see now I have 2 words, and by pressing it I'll have another 3 words. But what's cool about this is I can add any words from any lessons. For example, I can go to Lesson 8, browse the vocabulary in this lesson, and I could add words from this lesson as well to my list. I can add 도서관 to my list, I'll add 동시 to my list, and maybe I'll even go to another lesson as well, Lesson 11, go to the vocabulary, and actually not only can I add vocabulary to my list, I'll press 요리하다, and I can add this to my list, but I can also add sentences. You can see at the bottom there's also sentences I can press. If I want to, I can also add these sentences to my own list. And you can see here next to my new list 1, it says 7W and 0S. The 7W means I have 7 words in this list, and the 0S means I have no sentences, but when I add this sentence, I'll have a sentence in it now. Now when I go to my list of lessons, I can browse all the lessons, but I can also browse my own lists. At the top, I can press the My List button, and I can see the list I just created with the 7 words in 1 sentence. Now that I'm in here, I can practice or look at the sentences that I just added, and also the words I just added. I can also practice them by going to this, and I can choose the way in which I want to practice, maybe by looking at 5 options. And this would be 할아버지, which would be grandfather, foreigner, which would be 외국인, and you can see I'm being prompted in different ways because in the settings cog, I selected that I want to be quizzed by translating it, looking at Korean words, and also translating by looking at English words. If I just want to be quizzed by translating by looking at Korean words, I can turn that one off, and I can just do this one. That would be library, and this would be to cook. How about that for a feature?